Hi everyone, Bernard here on behalf of MovieGameNostalgia.com. I hope you're all very, very well. And today we have a little movie review. It's classed as a movie, but it's actually just under an hour, so it's more a little one-off drama, isn't it? Under an hour, but it packs plenty in, so let's talk about it. It's called Host, and there's a few hosts if you go onto the internet, and this is a Shudder original 2020, so it's a brand new one. Please, if you're new to the channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notification so all these little information vlogs, movie review vlogs, TV drama review vlogs are coming out. That'll be absolutely fantastic. And please, if you enjoy this, please, thumbs up's always appreciated. Thank you very much. Right, Host, a Shudder original. Yeah, there's a few of these little Shudder things coming out. It's classed as a horror, as you'd expect. Directed by a guy called Rob Savage. No connection with some other Savages I think we've had doing stuff. Stars a young cast, a British-based thing. Stars Hayley Bishop, Gemma Moore, and Emma Louise Webb, and 3 or 4 sort of main characters as well. But they're the main guys in it. And what's it about? Well, it's COVID time, isn't it? This is, you know, you're going to get more of these films over time, obviously. And it's 6 friends who get together during lockdown for their weekly Zoom call. Yes, I've had 1 or 2 of these myself. It's Hayley's turn to organise, trust Hayley, it's Hayley's turn to organise an activity, and instead of a quiz, she's arranged for a medium to conduct a séance. Bored and feeling mischievous, Gemma decides to have some fun and invents a story about a boy in her school who hanged himself. However, her prank gives license for a demonic presence to cross over, taking on the guise of the boy in Gemma's made-up story. The friends begin noticing strange occurrences in their homes as the evil presence begins to make itself known, and they soon realise they might not survive the night. Will they? Won't they? You'll have to watch it, won't you? Well, is it any good? Well, Rotten Tomatoes, the critic wise, the users, 25, there are 25 reviews, and every single one is a fresh review, so I've never seen that before in a while, certainly for 20, anything more than say 7 or 8 reviews, but it's got a 25 fresh ratings and a 0 rotten, so that's not bad, is it? Audience, normally a bit more down to earth, still getting 89%, so still quite high, so it looks quite good, doesn't it? I didn't see any of these scores before I watched this little mini movie, if you like. That's 89% audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes based on 23 ratings, so again, not massive amounts, but still enough to give you a good feel. Internet Movie Database, what about their critics? Obviously Metascore obviously features on Internet Movie Database, and it's got 7.2, which is quite healthy, alright, not as high as Rotten Tomatoes, and the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, but that's 7.2 is not bad. And the critics, I think there's 7 or 8 critics reviews on there, and the range between the lowest is 6 out of 10, which is passable. I'll read you out that review in a moment, and 8.9 out of 10, so the critics seem to like it. One of the least scores, or the lowest score, was from The Guardian's Benjamin Lee. Only give it 6 out of 10, but he did say Host is a lean, nasty little exercise that might not linger for very long, but it shows what can be done during this difficult time. Once regular shooting resumes, we should look forward to whatever Savage, the guy who's put this together, comes up with next. So even though it's only 6 out of 10, it's quite a positive review. And then you go up to Empire magazine, which I do obviously, as you know, I always I get the Empire magazine myself. I always have a lot of interest in whatever they think, and they do score it 8 out of 10, so they're one of the highest scores. And they go on to say, an adrenaline-spiking fresh take on a well-worn horror format. Host transcends its high-concept premise to deliver original ideas and scream-worthy surprises. So, not bad. And what about Joe Public? What about you and me? What do the Internet Movie Database Joe Public think? Well, it's the lowest mark of the ones I've done today. It's 6.8 out of 10. Well, that's still pretty good, 6.8 out of 10. It's based on I think that's based on a couple of 100 reviews at the moment, so more people have seen this. I've seen it a couple of times on my one of my streaming sites, and I've sort of ignored it, to be honest with you. I haven't really looked at it, but it's only about 2 hours ago I decided to have a quick look at it. So yeah, Internet Movie Database, 6.8 out of 10. Again, quite high, not brilliant, not as high as some of the others, but I'll tell you something interesting about that in a moment. You're getting comments like J.L. Keenan on the 4th of August wrote, "This movie creeped the heck out of me," and he give it 8 out of 10. Oh, I assume it's a he, could be a she. "Though full of mostly jump scares, this movie made me scream out loud a few times." Sol, scream out loud. "Definitely one of the better found footage type of films." Yeah, it's sort of Paranormal Activity meets Blair Witch sort of thing in a COVID environment. I've seen as far as the acting and storyline goes. Yeah, you like the acting. I'll go more onto that in a moment. I prefer psychological horror versus slasher films, and this movie definitely creeped me out. Much recommended. So they did like it. Another one, a short, effective horror. This is She-Watts on the 3rd of August 2020. "Considering this is only an hour long and shot during lockdown, I would call it a success. I would describe Host as a blend between corner of your eye, what was that type horror and jump scares. The performances were good and I don't think anyone overacted. Some of the scare scenes later on were very effective and somewhat original. Would recommend if you have an hour to fill." Yes, I must admit, I did hope it would last a little bit longer, but the hour's probably right. So another couple of comments. "Generally scary, don't miss this gem. Pleasantly surprised, an intense heart-pounding horror film." And the last comment, "Creative," from Andrew Christian on the 2nd of August, who wrote "Creative." He went on to say, "A great achievement in a film made during lockdown, superbly acted, skillfully executed, and creative, good timing on making a Zoom horror movie." Yeah, so there you go, my little movie game nostalgia review. Yeah, I mean, this is it. It's of its age. It's in a way, I think, Paranormal Activity for the COVID age. I mean, this is what we've got here for lockdown. It's also interesting that I didn't deliberately read out positive reviews there, even though it's only getting a 6.8 score. Most of the people who I always take a lot of credence to actually write something about it as well. It's easy to put, yeah, this is rubbish, 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10. But it's a little bit more to leave it a positive score and write down a review of it. And this is what's happened with this. There's very few negative reviews, are mainly positive. I mean, I looked through about 50 and there was only actually one negative criticism of the film, saying it was rubbish and where are all these high scores coming from. So that's a really good sign, you know, that sort of percentage. So obviously as I said, I watched this before I even looked at the reviews or researched it. So I was pleasantly surprised myself, and obviously I wasn't pushed one way or the other by actually reading the reviews, because I didn't actually read them till after I'd watched the film myself. Great set of young actors. I mean, it's some young girls, obviously. A couple of other characters, which mainly based around young girls of the same age, obviously were friends and zooming each other, or I think it's Zoom as opposed to Skype. I mean, I tend to Skype, but I know there is a Zoom, but I've not gone on that to contact my family and friends. So yeah, it's a great set of young actors. There's not much time to get to know the actors, but I quite liked them. I mean, you know, I can invest in the characters, and I quite liked all the individual characters. There's no one that really sort of put me off, and I think it was because the acting was excellent. I mean, there's no sort of, for a British type thing, for a British girls, for instance, for a lot of these low budget British things, some of the acting's quite wooden, but the acting's really, really good on the Skype, on the Zoom sort of premise. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of the best low budget offerings I've seen in a long time. I'll be absolutely honest with you, and say it's only an hour. I mean, based on this, I mean, I won't be Skyping or Zooming with my family anytime soon, and I certainly won't be getting out something like an Ouija board or invited a medium to join in. I mean, that's the next little film I expect this sort of thing to have. Someone will get a Ouija board out and play with the mates sort of thing. So that's the sequel probably to this, in a way that the original Paranormal Activity was quite fresh when it came out. I mean, I know we've seen sort of things and these things. This had a sort of ghost hunter feel to it, where it's quite, when you first watch these sort of things, they are quite fresh and entertaining. They do get a bit boring after time if there's too many copycat films made, etc., etc. But this taps in brilliantly with this with the COVID age and the lockdown sort of thing. So it actually wins and scores on that basis. I think it was just a really, really good watch and quite scary. So don't watch it just before you go to bed or anything like that, because it may give you nightmares. But it scared me anyway. I mean, I like a good little goosebumps on my arms and a little shiver, and it gave me a little shiver watching this. Obviously, as it got, obviously, it's like anything. A lot of the climax sort of goes on for 10 or 15 minutes, but the build-up's nice, as I said, because you could invest in the characters, and the girls are quite good to watch. And I did like the personalities of the actors played, and the personalities of the characters as well. So my little rating, movie game nostalgia rating on this, I'm going to go mad. I mean, this is one of my highest ratings for a long time, to be honest. I'm going to give it 8 out of 10, which is yeah, he's up there with I can't remember. I've given more than a 7.5 recently, so that's one of the, certainly since I've been doing these vlogs, that's one of the highest review marks I can give. As I said, it's simple. I said it's less than an hour. Some people won't like it. Some people will say, "Oh, it's rubbish. This is what's it, you know." And all, but yeah, it's great. I mean, I recommend you watch it if you like a good little jumpy horror, little low, certainly for a low budget thing like it is. Absolutely superb, and all credit to Shudder, who obviously I've noticed the name, but I've not watched too much of this Shudder original stuff. So yeah, 8 out of 10. About the poster, well, I mean, the poster, yeah, you've got a very Blair Witch vibe going on, haven't we, that poster? Again, I've got Blair Witch posters as well, so, you know, if you get on my little website, there's some Blair Witch posters on there. But yeah, it does have that sort of feel to it, doesn't it? And I do like the poster. I think the poster's nice. I think the poster sort of reflects the film, and I think it's great. I think it's a great little poster. I'm not going to give it as high as the film, but I'll give it 7 out of 10, which again is quite high for a poster rating that I've done. No, I like that. I'd have that on the office wall. That's no problem. Anyway, please, that's Host. Just be careful when you're searching for it. If you're looking at your subscription service or your streaming site, there's a couple of movies called The Host, but this is the 2020, directed by Rob Savage. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching this. Please, if you can check out my links and go on to Movie Game Nostalgia. Say I have lots of posters from the 90s and 2000s on there, some board games and some old and rare DVDs as well. If you can spend a few moments to have a look on there, thumbs up to you. That'd be much appreciated. Anyway, thanks for joining me for this little movie review. I'll be back very soon with another movie review or TV drama review, even a little information vlog, or perhaps a poster versus the movie battle, which we do from time to time, or a quiz. Plenty of quizzes as well. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. I hope you're going to do the rest. Have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your family. Let's all look after each other, and let's sort of stay off Zoom and Skype for a few days. Anyway, let's just let me get over this film. I'll be back on sooner or later, but not just yet. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is Birdie saying goodbye for now. Please stay safe, everyone. Bye bye.